instance. I mean, you have to do it that way in some instances, but a lot of times that's the wrong thing to do because you take a step back. And for him to see just overall, just this whole building, what we're doing academics and wanting to build off that. But I think a lot of the momentum comes from these kids understanding there's a standard. We won 11 games. We played in the Big 12 championship. We played in the Sugar Bowl. They don't want to take a step back. How did we get there? And then how do we continue on that path? And so I think as much as it's being led by our head football coach, it's also being led by some of these players like the Charlie Brewers and the Xavier Newmans and the Terrell Bernards and Christian Morgans who've, put a lot of work in. I'm going to tell you another one, and, pat him on the back. He's my baby boy, but Garrett McGuire, I mean, they understand. They were here 3 years ago and went through 1-11 and went through all that pain, and they don't want to go back, and so they understand that this is how you have to work to be great, and they're putting that work in.
When you saw players tweeting out, endorsements for you for the head coaching
Yeah.
job, that had to be gratifying, but was part of you just kind of going, no, don't do it?
It was really humbling. Really humbling, but it was also like, hey, let's just work through the process. Mac was great about talking to him from the beginning, and that's been a word that's been around here, especially for the last 3 years. There's a process with everything, and so if you believe in the process, you got to work through it. So you got to remind those guys there's a process in this.
So I got to ask you,
Yeah.
Does Dave Aranda use process as much as Matt Rule uses process?
I don't know. I don't know, but there is definitely going to be a process of how we win the Big 12 championship.
Thanks.
All righty.
Coach, great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you.
Just curious, having Aranda come in here, he had just come off the national championship.
Right.
Does that give you a good feeling? I mean, to know that you got guys here who have won a national title?
No doubt. I mean, whenever when you've been a part of something where you've won it all, I mean, there's a reason you did it. There's a blueprint. It's just not getting lucky or anything like that. I mean, there's some things involved in that, but you have a blueprint, and you saw how they built at LSU, and so I think he's got a great idea how to help us take the next step to becoming a part of that Big 12 championship.
I've talked to several of the offensive guys,
Yeah.
and they all say that philosophically what they'd like to do is to adapt to what the personnel are best at, rather than trying to force a scheme.
Right.
How are you seeing it?
I think that's, you got to find out real quickly, especially whenever you're coming into a situation, what do your players do well, and how can we be great at that? And then coaching, that's part of coaching is, building them up on the things that we got to get better at. But I think that's one thing, both sides of the ball, really looking at, hey, where are our strengths and how do we play to our strengths? And so we got to continue doing that. I mean, I think, on the defensive side of the ball, I thought we played as hard as anybody in the country. And so that's kind of our standard. I think our seniors, our older guys will hold them to that standard. And so I think that's going to continue. And, you got to hit the quarterback, you got to get the ball out. And that's what we're going to try to do.
Okay. Coach,